seen in the desert, and how are they surviving in the desert. So we have studied about the camels and how are they surviving without water. That means where are they storing the water? How without water they are spending their days, isn't it? Then we have seen about the mongoose, the life of the mongoose, and their attack with the snake. All that we have studied, and I hope that the notes have come to you, and you have to complete all the notes and get it ready. Okay. Now we come to the next lesson, that is the tertiary effect, the banyan tree. Have you seen a mongoose? So have you seen a mongoose? So I think many of you must have seen. Usually they are coming in the night, isn't it? Yes, in the night they are coming, and where we are having the hens and cocks, they mainly come for attacking them, isn't it? You have read in the lesson 9 that the mongoose can fight with and kill a snake. So how do the mongoose fight with the snake? Each time it will go high, isn't it? Jumping high, and at the same time the snake also tries to catch hold of the mongoose. So the snake also will be going high, isn't it? Then who will get tired? The snake many times jumping makes the snake tired, isn't it? So that is a chance for the monkeys to catch hold on its neck, and that means it will catch hold on the head of the snake. So every time, who is the winner? Mongoose is the winner. Now look at the pictures and read the banyan tree. So this is, you can see that mongoose can jump highly, isn't it? So the snake also at the same time it has to go high up. So this is very natural, the mongoose jumping, isn't it? But the snake many times going high up till the height of the mongoose make the snake feel tired. So that is the opportunity taken by who? By the mongoose. Finally it will catch hold of the head of the snake. Clear to you? The banyan tree. I hope all have seen the banyan tree everywhere. Mainly near the temples and all, we can see the banyan tree. That means from the roots itself it starts growing. Yes or no? Yes, all the roots hanging with the banyan tree. The fight of the cobra and the mongoose is a classical drama often seen in India, and outcome is largely the same. Same means largely the same means who is the winner then? The mongoose is the winner. So here cobra, the lesson 10, the banyan tree. Here, so here the cobra and mongoose. Cobra and mongoose. All the time, who is the winner? Mongoose is the winner. Because it makes the snake get tired. All the time jumping high makes the snake feel tired. So that is the trick of whom? Mongoose. Then he will catch hold of the snake. The mongoose is not immune to the venomous bite. That means he will not get the attack of the poison of the snake, but is faster and quicker in motion than the snake. But he is very fast in his movement. Motion means movement. Movement. So who is very fast in the movement? Yes, mongoose is very fast and quick, isn't it? So he knows to escape from the bite of who? From the bite of the poisonous snake, isn't it? So it is not being killed. All the time he is able to kill the cobra. The cobra assumes a posture of defense and attempts to reach the animal by a sweeping strike. But the quick moving mongoose jumps out of reach and comes at the snake from another direction before the snake can get its striking position again. So as soon as it goes high up, he will also jump at the same height. Then what he will do? His action is very fast. So the snake will think now he is going to jump, but he will not jump, isn't it? He will go in the other direction. Here. The constant movement tires and discourage the snake, and the mongoose is finally able to leap indoors and bury its teeth in the snake's neck. Usually serving the joints of the vertebrae. That means catching hold of the neck and then tightening it. Tightening it means who is to be killed? The snake is going to be killed. Understood now? So that is how the mongoose is catching hold of the snake, and all the time he is winning because he makes the snake jump many times. So how many times it is jumping, that much who feels tired? The snake feels tired, but who will not feel? The mongoose will not feel tired. It wanted the snake to feel tired, isn't it? That means he will be moving from one direction to the other, making the snake move so many times. Movement as well as high, jumping high, isn't it? So as doing this, who will get tired? The snake will get tired. And who takes that opportunity? Who takes the chance? The mongoose takes the chance. He will catch hold of the neck of the snake, and the animal is, or the creature is finished. Understood? So who will not get the poison? Mongoose will not get the poison, but he is clever enough because of his quick and fast movement, able to kill the snake. Understood now? Once more. The fight of the cobra and the mongoose is a classical drama often seen in India, and the outcome is largely the same. Largely the same means everywhere. Throughout India, if you go also, we can see mostly who is winning? The mongoose is winning because he is a tricky animal. Understood? The mongoose is not immune. Immune means get affected to the venomous. Venomous means poison, bite, but is faster and quicker in motion than they say. So in motion means movement. In his movement, who is very fast and quick? Mongoose. So he is not able to get the poison of whom? The snake. The cobra assumes a posture of defense. So he also, the cobra also tries its best to defend, to attack whom? The mongoose, and attempts to reach animal by a sweeping strike. So he also every time tries his best to strike on that animal. But at every moment when the snake is about to strike him, who will change the direction? The mongoose will change the direction. Quick moving mongoose jumps out of reach and comes at the snake from another direction. So he will just move from that direction and he changes the position of himself. So that now who has to change now? The snake has to change direction before the snake can take its striking position again. So before the snake comes to the correct position or the posture, who will change it? The mongoose will change. The constant movement. Constant means continuous. Constant. Continuous. The continuous movement of snake tires and it discourages it. So the continuous movement, turning and the same time jumping also, this makes it tired. Then discouraging also, that he was not able to catch hold of the mongoose. It makes, and the snake, the mongoose is finally able to leave the course and betray its teeth in the snake body. So it gets tired and it will move from that. So that takes the mongoose to catch hold of the neck of the snake. Usually she will stay serving the joints of the vertebrae. That means of the joints of the body. It will bite. You must have seen a banyan tree. So that is the fight between the cobra and the mongoose. Every snake is like that only. Understood? You must have seen a banyan. Now we are coming to the banyan tree. This is a story about what the author saw as a young boy when he was sitting in an old banyan tree in his grandfather's house. So here the author is where in his grandmother's, yes, in his grandfather's house, isn't it? And there is a banyan tree also. So we can see how much attached the boy and the banyan tree. Through the house, though the house and grounds belong to my grandparents, the magnificent old banyan tree was mine, chiefly because grandfather at 65 could no longer climb it. So the author is saying that banyan tree was mine. Banyan tree was mine. Why did he say so? Why did he say so? That means the house, the compound, everything belongs to grandfather. He is staying with his grandfather in grandfather's house. So he is saying everything, the house and the surroundings, everything belongs to grandfather. But banyan tree was mine. Why? Because grandfather is at what age? 65 years old. Grandfather is 65 years old. So he is not going to climb the banyan tree. So who is the person climbing the banyan tree? The author. The author is the person who is climbing the banyan tree. That is why what he had said, the banyan tree belongs to him, when the house and the surroundings belongs to whom? വീടും പരിസരമെല്ലാം ഗ്രാൻഡ്ഫാദറിൻ്റെതാണ്. But banyan tree whose authors? Why? Because grandfather is, what's the age? 65 years old. So he is not going to climb the banyan tree. So the tree doesn't belongs to grandfather. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് grandfather's banyan tree അല്ല എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Understood now? It's spreading right. So you all have seen banyan tree. All the branches, everything is being spread far and wide, isn't it? Which will come to the ground and to root again. That means the branches will be coming down. Then it will come as a root. That means a root and branch all together combined is the banyan tree. Took a root again, forming a number of twisting passages, giving endless pressures. Passages means small waves passages. Waves. That means all the branches coming and then again it is going up, again coming. So in between there are passages, there are ways to move. We can move from this side to the other side through this in between the growth of the plants, branches or roots. Among them were squirrels and snails and butterflies. So who are the ones living over there? Squirrels, snails and butterflies. These are the ones living in that big banyan tree where the author had said their grandfather's house. The tree was older than the house, older than grandfather. So the narrator is saying grandfather is what age? 65 years old. But banyan tree is more than that. Understood? As old as Dehradun itself. That means Dehradun is a place. So it is more older than that. I could hide myself in his branches behind thick green leaves and spy on the moon. So he himself can hide safely in any one of the branches of the tree. Nobody will come to know anything. So that meant secret place is what? Banyan trees, branches growing or the roots growing. Understood now? So it is a combined of branches and roots together, which is a safer place for these creatures as well as the author himself. He himself can hide over there. Nobody will come to know that somebody is hiding over there. And this is that banyan tree is the house of many squirrels, then butterflies, and then snails also. Understood now? Now look. So why did the narrator say that though the house and the surroundings compounds belongs to grandfather, that banyan tree doesn't belongs to him? Yes, because grandfather is 65 years old and he is not now able to climb the banyan tree. So now who is the only person able to climb? Yes, the author. So that is why he is saying the banyan tree belongs to me, though the house and the surroundings belongs to grandfather. And that banyan tree is the combine of roots and branches, where we can find many passages in between, isn't it? And it is a home of the squirrels, snails and butterflies. Clear to you? Though the house and the grounds belongs to my grandparents, the magnificent very huge, banyan tree was mine, chiefly because grandfather at 65 could no longer climb it. So that is the reason why the other had said that banyan tree is mine. Its spreading branches which come to the ground, reaching the ground, and to the root again that will form as a root. Again the growth starts there, forming a number of twisting passages giving endless pleasures. So that passages may give a pleasure for whom? To the author. Among them were squirrels and ants and butterflies. They are houses also. The tree was older than the house, older than grandfather, so more than 65 years old. As old as the Darrodon itself. Even the state is older than that state also Darrodon. I could hide myself in his branches behind thick grey leaves and spy on the world below. Spy means a secret person who can give all the information to the world. Understood? He is called a spy. Watch it. He is secretly is. Understood that much? My first friend was a small grey squirrel. So who was his first friend? A squirrel. Grey squirrel. And was the grey squirrel. Arching his back and sniffing into the air, he seemed at first to resent my invasion of his privacy. So many squirrels are staying in that banyan tree, isn't it? So first he got a friend. Which friend? One of the squirrel, which is grey in color. So arching his back like an arch, curve, arching curve, make a curve. So in one poem we have studied, isn't it? How the squirrels are making, isn't it? Like a curve. Make a curve. And sniffing, smelling into the air. He seemed at first to resent my invasion of the privacy. That means privacy. Whose private place is that? The squirrel's private place is that, isn't it? So an intruder had come. Intruder means another person who had come there forcefully, isn't it? So now the squirrel wanted to know who is that person. For that only, what did he do? He started smelling, getting the smell of that human being. Understood? But when he found that I did not harm myself with a catapult or air gun. Catapult means the tower, yes, or air gun. He became friendly. So when he found that I am there, not having any kind of weapons. Arms means weapons. That nothing is there in my hand. As naturally small children used to have stone or board or any kind of thing to attack the animals, isn't it? Just to throw into them. So when that small creature, that is the squirrel, understood the person is having no kind of weapon in it, it became very friendly. Clear? started bringing him pieces of cake and biscuits, he grew quite bold and was soon taking morsels from hand. Then slowly, I also started. I here refers to the author. He also started to make friend with that grey squirrel. In order to make friendly, what did he do? He brought the biscuits and cakes from home and started giving to that animal. And slowly, the animal came close to home, to the author. Understood? Otherwise, it will not, if something was there with some material or some weapon is there to attack that small creature, will it remain over there? No, it will not remain. It will run for its shelter, isn't it? But when first it had come over there to find out, get the smell of that person, whether he is having any kind of material or weapon with him, isn't it? Making sure that nothing is there with him. What did that animal do? It started to come closer to the author. And when he understood, or when our author understood that the animal is now becoming friendly towards him, he started bringing cakes and biscuits and giving in hand. So that naturally, who comes? That animal came very close. Before long, he was delving into my pockets. Delving means going inside pockets and helping himself to whatever he could find. So, when it became very close, when it became very friendly to the author, what did it started doing? Getting inside the pocket of the author. For what? Getting inside the pocket, searching for some bits of cake or biscuits. He was very young squirrel. It was only a baby squirrel, and his friends and relatives probably thought him foolish and headstrong for trusting a human. Maybe because that was only a small one, maybe of that same category, that means of the same squirrel, other squirrels must have informed also that it is dangerous to be friendly with a home, friendly with a human being. Will any of the animals strangely come closer to an human being? No, isn't it? But they may be coming to us in the way how we are feeding them or how we are approaching them, isn't it? Then only, that means they have to make sure that we are not doing any kind of harm to them. So once when they understand they are not doing any kind of harm, then naturally they will come closer to us, isn't it? So in that same way only, this grey squirrel also had approached the author. But the author is thinking that maybe his relatives or his friends or his parents must have informed him that approaching or being close, being friendly with a human being is very dangerous, isn't it? Because at any moment, what is sure in him? Death is sure. Clear? My first friend was a small grey squirrel. Arching his back and sniffing, smelling into the air, he seemed at first to resent my invasion of his privacy. But when he found that I did not arm myself with a catapult or air gun, he became friendly. And when we started bringing him pieces of cake and biscuits, he grew quite bold and was soon taking morsels from hand. So, when I started giving him biscuits and cakes, that animal felt bold enough to come closer to me and he started taking from my hands. Before long, he was delving into my pockets and helping himself to whatever he could find. Getting inside the pocket, finding sundry eatables are inside. He was a very young squirrel and his friends and relatives probably means possibly thought him foolish. They must have thought he is a foolish person, foolish squirrel by getting close or getting friendly with a human being. Yes, and headstrong for trusting a human. It means animals should not trust a human being. Why? At any moment, the nature of the human being can change. Vice versa also, isn't it? At any moment, the animal also can change. Nature of the animal also can change, and both will have the tendency to attack. Yes or no? Yes. In the spring, when the banyan tree was full of small red figs, fig means nuts. Birds of all kinds will flock into its branches. The red bottom, bulbul, cheerful and greedy parrots, myna and crows, squabbling with one another. During the fig season, the banyan tree was the nicest place, noisiest place in the garden. So, why during the time of fig, during the time of spring, that means during the spring season, this banyan tree will be covered with the small figs, and that rose color figs is an eatable fruit for the animals, isn't it? So the whole banyan tree will be covered with the rose figs, and this is the food for all the animals that are living in that banyan tree, isn't it? So all the time, different kinds of birds and butterflies used to come there to have this fig fruit, and as a result, all the time it will be noisy. Squabbling means fighting. Birds will be fighting each other for getting the fruits, isn't it? And it is said banyan tree is the noisiest tree during the time of that blooming of the fig. In the spring, when the banyan tree was full of small red figs, that fruit, birds of all kinds will flock into the branches. So that means group of birds, different kinds of birds will come and settle on the branches of the banyan tree. The red bottom bulbul, which are the main ones coming over there? Bulbul. Then parrots, myna, and even crow also. So all kinds of birds, different kinds of birds come over there to have that fig fruits, isn't it? During the fig season, the banyan tree and myna squabbling means fighting each other. They will be fighting each other because they are all different varieties, isn't it? And everyone will think only the fruit, they needed the fruit, isn't it? When the others are coming over there, it is natural. A fighting will happen all the time. So the sound, the twittering sound of the birds can be heard all the time. Understood? During the fig season, the banyan tree was the noisiest place in the garden. So that is why it is said that during the spring season, which is the noisiest place? Yes, the banyan tree. In the spring, when the banyan tree was full of small red figs, birds of all kinds would flock into the branches. The red-bottomed bulbul, cheerful and greedy parrots, myna and crows squabbling with one another. During the fig season, the banyan tree was the noisiest place in the garden. So in the garden, which is during the spring season, which is the noisiest place? The banyan tree. Why it is said to be the noisiest place? Because during the spring season, figs bloom and the banyan tree, and all kind of varieties of birds come over there for this fruit, and all the time the twitterings of the birds can be heard, and it is a signal of quarreling each other, isn't it? Fighting each other for the fruit. Halfway up the tree, I have built a crude platform where I would spend the afternoons when it was not too hot. I would lay there propping myself up against the tree with a cushion from the living room. Treasure Island, Huckleberry Finn, and the story of Dr. Dolittle were some of the books that made up my banyan tree library. So in that season, not only the birds are there, that means not reaching up to the top of the tree, up to the half, he had built a platform which had made suitable for him to lie or sit over there. And he used to spend his time sitting over there reading books, reading all the famous novels of Huckleberry Finn, then Canterbury Tales and many other. And usually, and in a whole, we can say that he had made a library, isn't it? Actually, it was a library sitting over there. That means the books will be arranged over there. At his free time, afternoons, he used to go and sit over there, enjoy the beauty of the nature at the same time, reading books also. Halfway up the tree, I had built a wood platform where I could spend the afternoons when it was not too hot. So it is very comfortable to sit in the middle part of the, even underneath of the tree also, because it is a big plant, big tree giving shade to a numerous number, isn't it? Especially during the hot season, I could read there, propping myself up against the tree with a cushion from the living room. He used to go there, sit over there, having a cushion in his hand. Treasure Island, Huckleberry Finn, and the story of Dr. Dolittle. These are the books what he was reading when he was there during those afternoons. Some of the books are made up at Benentry library. So in one way we can say he himself, the author himself had made the Benentry, had used the Benentry as a platform of library. I feel like reading, I could look down through the leaves at the world below. And on one particular afternoon, I had a grand stand view of that classic of the Indian wilds, a fight between a mongoose and a cobra. So all the afternoons he used to come over there. He had already made a platform to sit comfortably, and a set of books also there with him, and he used to spend his time in that hot days by reading books, isn't it? So once upon a time, in between those days, he had seen a fight between a cobra and a mongoose. So that also he was able to notice. Now, in the second part, he will say how the fight had started and who had won over there and how was the fighting also. Understood? So now, when I did not feel like reading, that means when he was not reading, could look down through the leaves at the world below. That means he used to enjoy the beauty of the nature. And on one particular afternoon, I had a ground views of the classic of the Indian wilds, a fight between a mongoose and a cobra. And such one day, while he was viewing through the leaves of the banyan tree, a little bit far, he could see a natural thing. That means a fight between a mongoose and a cobra. Already we had said how is the fight between the snake and the mongoose, isn't it? So it happened to him. Now in front of him, he is able to watch the fight between the mongoose and the cobra. Clear to you? So now we have come up to there. Now we will go for the second part where we can see how was the fight between the mongoose and the snake.